Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast number 48. We are finally back after our little pause. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and here are the girls and one guy here with me today.
Hi, I'm Ellie, CS and Glory on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm Jinijing Streeter.
I'm Steph, and I'm Bookstore Romantic.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've been here recording, but I think I still remember what we do when there's someone new here. We ask them, we put them on the spot, we ask them a question immediately. So Ellie, when and how did you start shipping Captain Swan?
Actually, it was right off the bat, Tallahassee. I was completely spoiler-free until like mid last season, I think, and I had no idea where they were headed with Captain Swan, but I was very much in love. And when you watch your ship basically and you have a huge smile on your face, that was pretty much me. So yeah, Tallahassee.
Okay, so I don't think anyone here has been spoiler-free for a long time. We discuss spoilers all the time, and that's basically all we're gonna do this podcast. I know you guys have some thoughts. Do you guys want to start with the questions? I think we said before that Rose sent a question and is gonna ask it.
Okay, this question is from Jinijing Streeter. Wow, what a clever username. When would you like to see CS start making babies?
Series
Okay.
finale.
I think the more pressing question is, when would you like to see CS do the bang bang? Because that is required first.
You mean start practicing?
You mean the end of the mid-season finale? that should have happened.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I don't really see babies working out for Emma in the show right now. I just don't see how it works. Snow is one thing, even Regina is one thing.
I think it would probably happen towards the end. Once she's got her life in order and things aren't so crazy, and she's ready to make that sort of commitment to Killian.
Yeah. End of the series. Unless J-Mo gets pregnant.
Oh,
She'd have to be in a relationship, and
She
currently she's
doesn't.
not.
Technically, she doesn't have to be in a relationship to get pregnant. Let's not spread misinformation to the young people
Well,
listening
this is
to
true.
this. Listening
This is
to
true.
this. Okay, so if I want to say if Lana wants to go get pregnant and just be a mother, I wouldn't complain about less Regina.
Hey.
But just the idea of Regina being pregnant, like she's already annoying like this. Think about her plus morning sickness, plus
Oh my
mood
God.
swings, plus everything else,
That was
and
awful.
I have no idea how we'd survive this. So I think the show should remain baby free, except for Prince Graham. It should remain. Oh, no matter how many times I say I make the Prince Graham joke, you guys always laugh. It's a
Because
crowd
it's so
pleaser.
funny.
Well, you know something? I'll bet that Josh Dallas would probably agree with you, because that picture that Keegan Connor Tracy tweeted, Throwback Thursday to the naming ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Dallas was just kind of sitting there like, God, why is this happening?
Yes.
Why, Neil?
I think he's one of the people who did not agree with naming the kid Neil.
I still remember Josh Dallas, like in early season 3, doing Ask Josh on Twitter, and someone asked him, what does Charmin think of Neil? At that point, it was Ariel. So Neil hadn't joined the group yet, and Josh was like, "Oh, Charming really likes Neil," and was like, "They have never talked in their life. Why? Why are you making
Nice.
stuff up? They have never talked to each other in their whole life."
Exactly. Neither of
Except
her
for-
parents
except
have.
for that, 30 seconds in season 2 when Emma was putting the chalk or whatever down in front of Gold's door when Neil was checking out her ass.
Oh.
Anyway, I guess my point was for they really tried to make Neil happen, but it didn't work. It was sad. I was sad about it. Anyway, we have some other questions. Yes, we should go to the non-babies related questions. Obvious
Aw.
girl wants to know. I loved your question, Ro. It was my favorite question that we ever got.
Oh, thank you.
More favorite than mine?
Oh God.
I am hurt.
Your questions were from a Swan Queen shipper, so I didn't like them. Obvious Girl wants to know, what do you think of the latest promo pictures from 412, especially the Captain Swan ones?
Thrilled. It just goes to show how much their relationship has moved forward. For anybody that says no, they haven't banged, if you look at those pictures,
Oh God.
something has shifted in their relationship status. Emma has never been known to be the type of person to be big on public displays. And all the pictures we've seen so far from 12, 13, 14, 15, they're very, very like hard eyes, goobly gobbly, almost to the point where I'm sure other people that are around them are like shoving their fingers down their throats going,
Gina.
Frankly, I'm waiting for Grumpy to make some joke.
So
It's gonna happen.
I'm waiting for Regina to realize that she's the third wheel and go hang out with 12-year-olds that are on the same emotional level.
Well, I'm pretty sure if that shot of Regina sitting there has Emma holding his hook. I'm pretty sure if she sees them, snuggling closer and she's holding the guy's hook, Regina's gonna be like, "Oh my God, get me out of here and go away."
So why are we
Raise the
even
crowd,
sitting there?
Regina.
Why are we even sitting there? Go away. Let them
I
have
mean,
their date.
she can take a hint. She can take it.
She was
But-
probably hoping to do some Operation Mongoose conspiring, and it went all to hell.
But like considering everything, how long has Emma been back in Storybrooke? Like the timeline on the show moves at snail pace, so has it been like 3 months?
It's been like a couple months.
Yeah,
The length
exactly.
of
Considering
Well, no,
the 6 weeks.
like 2
oh.
months.
Yeah.
Well,
2
the
months,
length of-
maybe?
So
The
they're
length of-
already.
The length of 3B was like a week and
week.
a half, maybe. Yeah. And 4A was maybe a week,
No, it was like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then 6 weeks goes by, so that's another.
So
2
roughly
months.
2 months, give or take a
Yeah.
week or two.
Okay, so yeah, they're already like at that stage in their relationship, which
Well, they've
is
wanted to
phenomenal.
since they met, so let's all be real.
You're in this extensive, like, long-winded honeymoon, can't put a piece of paper between them stage. And
Good.
for Emma, that's a big deal because even when she was with Walsh, it always seemed so like stilted and stiff, and it's like she wasn't all the way in there.
Well, that's clearly a
wasn't
sign
herself.
she wasn't really as into him as she was trying to convince herself that she was.
But with
I mean, there's a reason she panicked when he said, "Will you marry me?" She's like, "Oh my God, no!" And
I'm
without
outta
saying
here.
no.
but when she's
Best
with
thing about those pictures, though, was her touching the hook.
yes.
That was the
With-
best picture of the bunch.
With all of this, the issues that Killian has with it, and everything that he went through in 4A because he was so self-conscious about it and wanting the hand to make her happy. So for her to be able to do that and show him that it's okay, that it doesn't matter to her, that she is okay with who he is as a person. It probably means the world to him. That's why they're so googly eyed. It's just like stars in the sky. It's so beautiful.
Yes. We can only. I'm taking that picture to assume that they've had the talk. You know,
Yes.
the what the hell were you even doing with gold in the first place talk.
I wouldn't even be surprised if some bedroom action hasn't happened. But if we get skimped on that scene, I'm gonna like throw a table because
Well, we're
Yeah.
not gonna get what we
We're not
really
gonna
want
get the talk.
because
Nope.
you know this isn't HBO.
Hey, I would settle for the morning after. I would settle for just so I would know that it did in fact happen.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to know that it happened.
Yeah.
And that.
We would like immediate confirmation, please, Adam and Eddie.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be nice.
when Jen was on, Kelly and Michael, she was like, "We're working on it," and I was like, "Well, I hope that means that we're actually gonna see something."
Because TikTok, bitch, because we've already had to sit through watching Regina and Robin get the busy on in the freaking
In a crypt.
in the crypt. So
How romantic.
Seriously.
you two are the only two left that haven't gotten the shiznit. Everybody else has. So come on.
Yeah, we've had morning after for snowing. We had whatever in the heck that was with Rumbell on their honeymoon, and then we had Outlaw Queen in the crypt. You gotta give us something because none of those couples, not even Outlaw Queen, has the UST that Captain Swan's got.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we should also get the right before cut and then right after. We should have both.
Well, they said that in the first couple episodes they're going to do some flashbacks to show how they settled into the 6-week
Ooh.
quiet period. So maybe we'll get to see some.
Maybe we'll get it.
Maybe we'll get to see some stuff. I'm just glad that she finally has his back. You know that picture where they're all standing around the tree stump because they're trying to release the fairies from the device? She's holding his hand because she knows how guilty he feels for putting them in there in the first place.
Well,
you
know what else this means, because that's clearly like a family dinner thing where it's, Captain Swan and Snowing and Regina and Henry. So it means that Emma and Killian have spent enough alone time that they are cool with, that Emma is cool with inviting him to dinner with her parents and her extended family so that they can eat as a family. So that means she's not like, craving alone time with her pirate. So clearly that means they've done something. That's what I'm getting
Something?
at.
And considering the parallel to 3B where he was cursed and looking in on them having dinner and he couldn't be there, now he's finally there. It just makes you want to cry because he's finally...
The sandwiches sign is right behind his head.
Yeah, he's finally has this family. He has a place where he belongs.
You know what my other favorite shot of the preview pics was?
Him talking to Snow, right?
Yeah.
Talking to Snow.
I'm like, thank God.
With the pineapple
sharing
stuck full
a
of olives?
conversation with Snow.
Yes, with the fruit that was skewered with pineapples and
What
and
did
olives
Granny
galore.
do to the fruit, man? I don't even like pineapple, and that's wrong.
Pineapple needs some olive.
I don't know if they're having a party or what, but
it seems like another party.
Yeah, and
So
Belle's there.
I blame for the pineapple olive thing.
it's like, geez, you got enough olives for your fruit?
Does anybody else think it's gonna be weird that Belle's gonna be there and trying to like integrate into greater Storybrooke society now that Rumple's gone and her focus can't be on him 5,000% of the time and Ruby's not there?
She's still Henry's step-grandma.
That, and I think
We just have to imagine all the Ruby and Ariel friendship stuff. We don't get to see it.
Yes, it makes me sad.
I'm really interested to see this, whatever friendship or OTP, whatever it might be that develops between Killian and Belle, because Killian might not have any like or respect for Rumpelstiltskin, but he respects her.
He does now.
Well, he knows that it's not her fault for the things that Rumple did. And I also know that some part of him does genuinely feel bad for the fact that he shot her. He didn't want to hurt her, but he was in a bad way. And I think that they both of them understand what it feels like to be wronged by him.
The whole shooting thing at this point, I think for both of them is water under the bridge. Belle has clearly gotten over it. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
mean,
he
we saw
also,
when.
but he also
Which,
understands not. He's the only one that really understands, besides her, what it's like to be wronged in that way by
well,
him.
yeah.
So I think he feels like obligated to like try to be there for her.
And I hope to God, you know what I really hope? I hope to God that when Rumple does turn up again, because you know he will, that Killian actually is a little bit worried about Belle's physical safety since he was there the last time Rumple's wife like pissed him off because she
Well,
got
there were those
murdered.
shooting pictures from like when Rumple is back with them and like the dagger and Rumple is there and Belle drives away and whatever the hell is going on in that scene, I really need to
Yeah,
know.
but I would really like Killian to actually say something that, you know, I was, even whether to Rumpelstiltskin or to Belle, I don't care which, that, you know, I was there the last time your wife pissed you off and you murdered her. It would also be a callback to when Rumple bonked him about Mila in Smash the Mirror, which pissed me
Yeah.
off.
Oh, you'll get over Emma. Got over
Honestly,
Mila.
honestly, like Regina, I think that Rumple. I'm not going to excuse any of his actions, but I think that he's come a little too far in his development to immediately lash out and murder Belle. He loves her too much to do that to her. Yes, his
Really,
love is quite toxic and poisonous and not right, but I can't see him killing her, no matter how badly he thinks that she's wronged him. I can see his head exploding when he,
if he
sees
doesn't
that
go
they have a
on,
friendship.
if he doesn't go all exorcist over it, I'm gonna be super sad.
Like the pea soup flying everywhere as he sees that his mortal enemy and his wife are now friends. Yes, I can envision that. But I don't think that he would kill her. I think he.
Yeah,
his-
but
his
Killian doesn't
his
know that.
no. If he's gonna want to kill anybody, his issues with Hook are not over. That
Well,
device.
I mean, clearly,
Oh,
I mean,
no.
as somebody, as I read in some meta somewhere at some point since 411, is that, you know, Rumple's idea of a happy ending, part of it is clearly involving Killian Jones being deceased.
But the whole thing about cleaving himself from the dagger using that hat, that device is in play still. I'm telling you. And considering that we now know that Hook's heart is the key to making happen what he wants to happen, unless Emma has put a spell on his heart to make sure that nobody can rip it from his chest,
Well,
that's
we don't
still
have
very much in play.
we don't
See, I
have
don't
to
think
worry
it's gonna
about any
come
of that. We don't have to worry about any of that as long as Rumple doesn't have his dagger.
Yeah,
the
but
hat.
it's not going to come back anyways because they're going to free the fairy so the hat won't be powered up. You theoretically need it to be aligned with the stars in the sky for it to even work. And so, like, that's not going to happen through all of 4B. And then to replay that whole plot again in season 5 would just be stupid.
No, that would be dumb.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Well, true.
guys. I
To
think.
be honest,
Oh, sorry.
this whole author thing just feels like a rehash of the curse. I mean, the Dark One and the Evil Queen want something they can't have. Why is that Emma or the Charming's problem? I mean, seriously. They didn't ask for this.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of the Operation Mungus, Odor, etc., I think it's time for one of the classic Captain Swan podcast bets.
Oh
on
no. I'm out of this one.
how this is gonna end, and I think this can end in one of those ways. One, they figure out that there is no freaking author, that even if there is, it's just recording what has happened, because anything else is stupid. And the author
Not going to be that way.
the author tells Regina to stop whining and go listen to some Taylor Swift, which is, I think, excellent advice for anyone, anywhere. Or they find this author. It looks like Adam and Eddie had a baby. It looks creepy. And they find this author and somehow convince him to give Regina a happy ending at me. Okay. So those are, I think, can you guys think of any other outcomes? Because either the author exists or it doesn't. I mean, those are the possibilities. So, what are your bets? Does it exist or not?
Well, they
I
did
think
get
it
to
does.
cast someone for a 3-episode arc towards the end of the season.
See, this is I was hoping that the author would be a chick. I've been saying this.
Okay, but I'm sorry, I didn't express my question well. I mean, even if the author exists, do you think that
They have the power
he
to do
can
it.
control fates, or he just records what happens? Is he an historian, or is he a demented Sims player?
I think he just records it. Honestly.
I love that
I think he
analogy.
records it, but that's an excellent analogy.
Well, he records it, but he or she is also obviously powerful. So maybe they'll just go to Regina and be like, "You want a happy ending? Why don't you make good life choices?"
I
Yeah.
kind of liken it to this. I don't know if any of you have ever watched the Highlander series, but I kind of liken the author to the Watchers. Observe and record, but never interfere. I think that's all the author does. He observes, he records, but whatever choices that they make for their life, he can't interfere with them. So if Regina makes her own choices. If she fucks up and when she had the chance to be happy with Robin at that tavern, but she made a choice and she ran away because she was too scared. And she decided to just be angry and be bitter.
So
And
what
the
you're
author's
saying- so what you're
solution
saying is-
was to show her, hey, it could have all worked out great if you just hadn't been a coward like
So
35 years ago.
Yeah, basically the author lives by the Prime Directive.
Right. I think that
Only one person knew what that meant. I'm so sad.
I think that Patrick Fischler guy is supposed to be playing the author, right?
Well, he's playing.
Peddler.
Yeah, the
Peddler.
peddler.
Possibly author. Who knows?
Well, I think the author records the history, but like I've been rewatching the show because I'm pretty bored right now. And in the Queen of Hearts, like I went as far back as season 2, and you know when Emma comes back from the Enchanted Forest, like she actually has this line that kind of reminded me of what Cruella said, where she's basically telling Rumpel that the game is rigged, and that she kind of starts wondering if she has been in control of her life at all this whole time.
Well, of course she hasn't. Rumpel's been using her as a pawn since before
Yeah,
she
no,
was born.
I agree, but it's just the whole thing, like, kind of makes me wonder if that's the reason she's not buying into this a little bit.
I think she just feels like everybody has had some sort of hand dipped into her life or say in why they want her to exist. I mean, Rumpel pretty much ensured her existence by orchestrating her parents getting together so that they could have her and he could have the true love person that will break his spell and blah blah blah. She feels like she has no control over her own life. That's why her relationship with Killian is so important. He's the one thing she's got that she controls. That is her choice and nobody else's.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering if they might bring Lily back at some point.
Well, I saw speculation that the chick they just cast could be Lily as an adult.
She doesn't look anything like her.
Well, if she has brown hair, she might. I don't know. I'm just saying speculation that I saw.
I'm just getting tired of them casting more minor characters. Focus on the main ones. The main ones that aren't getting the story. Like, because I know in 4B we're going to get mammoth flashbacks with Regina and Maleficent and Cruella and all this bullshit. I want to see more stuff with Emma.
We still haven't seen a likely title or an obvious title for a Hook flashback episode, and they've only got 4 left.
They promised us some Hook
flashback.
They promised us some Hook backstory, and we still haven't gotten it. And I swear to Jesus, if by Hook backstory they're talking about some some part of the flashback from poor unfortunate soul because of a connection with Ursula. I'm gonna flip a table. I don't care about his connection with Ursula. I want to see about his past. The
She's not his mom.
I know she's not his mother. I know she's not his mother, but I mean she's a sea creature and a sea goddess, and he's a navy captain and a pirate. So obviously there'd be some sort of connection there somewhere. But I don't want him.
The only way that'll be okay with me is if she has a connection to his dad and then she passes it on to him like when he's an adult. Then that's okay. But other than that, no.
I just get tired of main characters being in flashback just to move somebody else's plot along. I want them to have their own story. Like Emma, it seems like every time she's in a flashback, it's to move somebody else's plot along. The stuff that she was in 4A was the first time where it was just her story. Not there to move anybody else's plot, just her.
Well, Tallahassee was for her. It was to directly parallel and contrast with the Beanstalk action.
Yeah.
Like, all the Emma stuff we've gotten has been pretty Emma-focused. You could say maybe the one with Ingrid, not so much. That was more Ingrid than Emma, the episode they had together, but...
No, don't get me started on Frozen. I am over the mid-season finale stuff, but I am sick to death of Frozen already when it comes to Once Upon a Time. I get that they were trying to capitalize on the popularity of the film, but I think they just overwhelmed themselves with Frozen stuff, and it obviously showed in the writing.
But I like to think that there was a reason for Emma befriending Elsa and this whole thing with accepting her magic. Like, if it's going to carry on into the next arc, like it's going to be her about her heritage, like the spoilers say, she's going to look more deep into that kind of stuff. And I think that might have something to do with August being back, as they said he would be.
See, and I'm totally okay with that, but I really think that if Frozen hadn't been as popular, they could have done the same thing, but without Frozen.
I don't even really think the problem was Frozen stuff. It was more the Operation Mongoose. All the Regina plot was just so clunky and awful.
I mean, honestly, I think better Frozen than those Queen of Darkness, because at least Frozen had a beginning, a middle, and an end with a happy ending. Everything is fine. Then we have with the Queens of Darkness, we have to see those villains. We have to have the introduction. We have to have the sad backstory, and then they die. Because that's how it's gonna go.
That's how villains do on this show, unless you're wrong.
And then it's pointless. It seems like a waste of time because, I mean, they don't make any difference. The only difference Zelina made in the season 4 has been the time travel. It's just been cock blocking Regina. That's the only difference Zelina made. That's stupid. They don't have consequences. So yeah.
I think the overall big deal about this 4B story is the book. The author, the book. Why are the stories in there? Why is the book magical? Who controls it? Who writes it? Because that book has been a big question for everybody almost since the show first started. So
I don't know about you guys, but I really didn't care.
Yeah,
I mean,
neither did I.
But at this point in the show's timeline, considering we're 4 seasons in, there's a certain point where you have to answer those questions.
So you're saying they're trying to be the anti-Lost and actually answer some shit.
Yes.
And I love Lost. I love the
just
finale and whatnot, but that was one of the things about Lost. People were like, you got to answer the questions, man, and then they didn't really answer most of the questions that people were obsessed with. So
because they got confused.
But then they answer, and their answers are lame, like, oh, it was a typewriter. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, what was it?
The only way this Queens of Darkness thing is going to be enjoyable is if they are really sassy with each other all the time. Like, the flashbacks are just going to go right off. Like, they're just going to be mostly a waste of time. But if they're constantly sassing each other in the present, and you have a whole bunch of people who aren't typically used to sharing power, sort of allied together, then that could be fun.
This is why I wish that they would have waited to do the Queen of Darkness introduction until for the mid-season premiere. The way that they did it in episode 11 with the Belle and the puppy dog flashback was so fucking ridiculous because it took any like cliffhanger-y surprise factor and just down the toilet because you put it in the middle of the episode so that in the end when Rumpel's in New York 6 weeks later and he goes and sees Ursula at that aquarium, there's no surprise to it. They're like, oh, Ursula.
Here's the thing. They could have, because
you wouldn't have known who she was if he just shown up at the aquarium.
That's what I was just about to say. They didn't have to do Ursula. They could have done Maleficent. Everybody saw her. Everybody knew who she was. So he could have tracked down Maleficent
instead. In Storybrooke. Like the last time we saw her.
She's confetti.
Well, but see, that's the thing. I think, didn't I see in the synopsis for 412 that Rumpel has to like gather all of them and he has to make stops before they go to Storybrooke? So she's not in Storybrooke right now.
It doesn't make. They have to explain that though, because the last time we saw her, she was.
They didn't explain why Ursula is in New York rather than in Storybrooke when the curse supposedly brought all the magical people to Storybrooke. Why the hell is she in New York?
Brought all of her magical people to Storybrooke with the original curse and then kicked them out. That's what I'm going with. She kicked them out. So here, I brought you to a world full of happy endings. Go forth. Get out of my town.
But here's my question then. So when Regina destroyed the curse, shouldn't they have gotten sucked back? Yeah. And if they didn't, then why couldn't Killian have crossed the town line with Emma and left?
I don't think people outside of Storybrooke got sucked back. Like
But that's what I'm saying. If all Killian would have had to do was cross the line, he wouldn't have had to go back.
Same with Tink, same with Neil.
But he didn't know that at that point. I'm sure if he knew that, he would have been more than happy to cross that fucking line. But then so would Neil, and then there would be a fist fight between who got to go with Emma. But anyway, either way.
There's enough room in the car.
Could have mediated.
Everybody could have done that. So clearly,
because they would have lost their memories.
Yes, they would have. Yeah, the whole.
But Neil and Tinkerbell and Hook theoretically could have, maybe not have been sucked back.
Because you realize at this point,
I'm just 3 mid-season finale.
all I'm saying is they have to give us a reason why Ursula and Cruella and Maleficent are not in Storybrooke that jives with the everybody got sucked back to the Enchanted Forest.
They're not going to give us a good reason.
Yeah, but
it's not going to make sense. It took me a month to make sense of why did Emma put the heart back in at Granny's as opposed to in the clock tower. A month.
You managed to make sense. What's the reason? Because I haven't figured.
Because the hat was still going, and Killian freaked out and was like, "No, stay there. Like, just go, take the heart, and like, I'll take care of this. I don't want you to accidentally get sucked into it. I'll tell you what it is later. And I'll meet you at Grandma." It's the only way it makes sense in my head.
I'm still trying to make sense of the whole thing with the gauntlet leading Belle, why they needed to have this gauntlet to lead Belle to Rumpelstiltskin, why they had to have all this excess of...
that's the thing. That's the thing. They showed Belle with the gauntlet, but they never actually showed her using the gauntlet. So what the hell was the point? Like, I wanted to see that moment where she realized Rumpel was a big fat lying liar who lies.
Yes.
But I didn't get it.
Yeah. I think that
he is a liar.
Because Emily DeRavin would have knocked it out of the park, and I'm kind of pissed for her that she didn't get that awesome acting moment.
I think that whole episode was just, except for a few choice scenes, the whole episode was pretty much a train wreck. Because Adam and Eddie, and this does happen when you try to grasp on something that is really popular. They grasped onto a hugely popular movie franchise, and they wanted to put it into their show, and they did a good job with it. But they went so intricate with it and so slow that by like episode, I want to say 4 or 5, most of us were like, can we get this over with now, please? This is getting really boring. Because it took almost five episodes just for Ingrid and Emma to have a face-to-face discussion. It was going so slow that by the time we got to 11, everyone was sick of Frozen. They just wanted it to be over. They were squeezing every last ounce of that movie that they could out of it by putting all these little details in, like the thing with her making the bridge in episode 5 and the scene with them with Anna and Elsa and smelling chocolate. They wanted like every tiny ounce of Frozen in there
Although-
that they could possibly put in.
Although I will say, the one positive of that is now when I listen to my Frozen soundtrack, I laugh more than I used to. Like when I get to Love is an Open Door, I just start laughing hysterically because Anna's like, I sang
with you.
And it's really funny to me now.
I mean,
Like the Frozen cast was great.
yes, they
Like
all.
Yeah.
they were fabulous.
It's just that they wanted to suck so much of it into the show that they became overwhelmed with it. So there was at least 5 or 6 scenes in episode 11 that could have been cut, trimmed, or didn't even need to be there.
One especially did not need to be there.
No, it didn't.
If it was between chocolate or like some sort of 10-second conversation between Emma and Hook, we should have cut the Emma and Hook.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole scene with Killian and Rumpelstiltskin at the mansion finding the portal did not need to be shown. He could have simply told him that that's where it was. Go tell Emma. He didn't need to have this whole scene where he was, talking shit about the fact that Killian was going to die. Blasey, 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 blah. We already know. You tell him this every fucking day.
Well,
we get it.
Okay. Another scene that didn't really was it in 411 where he at the beginning where where Rumpel's torturing Killian with the heart? Is that at the beginning of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That scene didn't need to be there either because he's follow Anna, and then he does that. We don't see him actually following Anna, so why was that there?
And then the scene in Granny's, Emma, and that was a great scene between Cap and Swan, but the 4 of them sitting at the booth kind of staring at the wall is like, what is this?
Yeah, the thing,
just
the following Anna bit, I think, was just to remind the audience that, hey, Anna knows shit is up, and she's gonna tell them at some point, conveniently.
Yeah, but at the same time, they didn't even have, this is what, okay. At the same time, they did not show us what she knew exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. Because
all we know is she knew about the hat.
Yeah, we don't get anything between Anna saying Rumpelstiltskin's a lying liar who lies and Emma, figuring out, hey, I need to go stop Rumpel from murdering my boyfriend. So we don't know how Emma came to that conclusion other than Anna saying lying liar who lies.
Exactly.
Honestly, at this point for me, I firmly believe that Emma had no clue that Hook was about to die. Had no idea. She just went, she saw the light over the clock tower, so okay, he's doing his thing, and she went up. And that's it.
And that pisses me off, because then why in the hell would they have those 3 different times where Emma noticed something was wrong if they weren't going to connect those 2 things?
Especially the last one, because the other 2 could be argued that she was distracted enough that she might not have been able to place it. But that 3rd time, that was fucking obvious. That there was something drastically wrong. And for her to just walk off going, well, I'll see you later. No big deal. Are you kidding? I mean, I think that they wanted to put the extra scenes in, but they just inundated themselves with so much Frozen that they had no room left. And it pisses me off because even though the Frozen storyline was good, it's obvious that the thing with the hat and the heart and him trying to cleave himself was the bigger story. And it should have gotten the more precedence than the Frozen crap.
Okay, we have 2 other questions. One from Steph, the Fangirl 925. She says, "Hi, Captain Swan podcast. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I'm glad it's back and everyone on the podcast is amazing. I've never submitted a question before, but there's a first time for everything. With all the spoilers in the promo pics, I'm looking forward to Hook finally being a part of Emma's family and being involved in more family events. Who in Emma's family are you looking forward to Hook bonding with the most in 4B? Hook and Harry, Hook and Snow, Hook and Charming, or Hook, Emma and Harry?"
Snow.
Snow. I'm not sure he's actually spoken one-on-one with her at all ever. So I need it.
And we can't even really be sure that picture was during filming. It could be behind the
Can
scenes.
we stop with this behind the scenes fuckery, please?
No.
I know. I don't want to fall into that trap, but I mean,
Maybe you just beat.
every time we get a really juicy picture, it never turns up on the actual show. It's always like behind the scenes or something that they attempted, but it's not actually in there. Or.
Still feeling burned by that hug?
No.
The rest of the fandom clearly is, because every single time we get some major development, they're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna get cut, guys, calm down, it's okay." There's a vast difference here.
I am over that hug stuff.
I don't even care.
The hug and whiteout was great.
Yeah,
I would be more. Hug. Minor things like hugs are one thing. Now, if we knew that we were getting some bang bang, and that shit
I would like that kind of bonding, please.
Like if we knew for certain that it was coming, and we didn't even get a morning after, then yeah, I'd be pretty fucking pissed.
And since Mai's not here, bang bang bang, bangity bang bang bang.
bang.
Speaking of Mai, just to derail things for 2 seconds, she says hello to everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mai.
Hi, Mai.
And she also requested that I say "fuck you, Regina." So now I have done so.
Thank you. I feel this is an important contribution to this podcast.
But in reference to the question, yes, I think that Snow is the only one left that Killian hasn't really bonded with, and it's mostly because I think he's wary of her. He knew that she was the one holdout that wanted Emma to have a second chance with Neil, and I think he's not sure where she stands on the whole thing.
I really kind of want to see the look on both of their faces once they realize that they have more in common than they think they do. Because they really do.
They're ever going to give us that.
Well, of course not. I mean, that's.
They don't care about Snow enough to give us that.
Oh. Yeah, but Killian got to see her in action in the season finale, scaling walls and, being a thief.
We have a last question from Abyss Girl. What do you think of the Twitter pic of the absolutely closed set? Does that mean a Captain Swan True Love's kiss? I think they're talking at the picture of the closed set, absolutely no visitor and no photography permitted. But that's what they put in every set inside, in every stage. I don't think
it could be anything.
And besides, TLK material is season finale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the finale, since we're going into this whole thing with the author, could we be looking at an AU two-parter?
Oh God.
I hope not, but you never know.
Oh God.
No, I think they already exhausted their two-parter for this year with episode 8. So.
Well, no, I think he's talking about like last year where Snowdrifts and There's No Place Like Home are essentially 2 parts of the same episode.
Yeah.
Not like Samira was.
They might, but I think if Adam and Eddie were intending to do that, they would have said so already.
Well, they didn't say that for Snowdrifts and No Place Like Home. We didn't find that out until like right before it happened.
No, we knew that 21 and 22 were going to air on the same night.
Well, we did, but we didn't find that out until they announced when the finale was going to air. The only clue we had was the fact that we had Killian we had Colin in those clothes while they were filming 21 and 22. That was the only other clue we had.
I don't know. I just hope if they do decide to do a two-parter, I hope it goes over better than this other one did.
I mean, I don't think it was exactly a two-parter, the one in season 4, because they just had to add the random scenes because they knew ABC added the hour after they had already filmed the episode. So it was basically a mess. When they did the two-parter with the season 3 finale, that was awesome. So, yeah, I think they should have. It was ABC's fault this time. I mean, I'm usually the first time to say that Adam Hadley did something wrong, and the first time to call them out, but this time it's ABC.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the scenes that they did add, I thought was really good. Like that they smushed in there the Emma Gold scene. I thought was one of the strongest scenes in the episode for Smash the Mirror.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He is such a jerk, manipulating her the whole
He
time.
was so masterful though in that scene. Just watching it, I was like, "Damn, you are good, Gold."
There
Like,
was so many amazing scenes. Elsa and Emma, Killian and Gold when Gold takes his heart at the end, and then the scene with Killian by himself in the pawn shop when he makes the phone call.
It was just all the other stuff in between. It took too long. It took so long for everyone to get to the mansion. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to end this podcast by talking about the awards?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yay!
Christina Perry, bless your house, bless your cow, bless your family, bless your child. Bless you.
Bless your heart.
Yes. Bless
She
your
saw
heart.
an opportunity and she took it.
Bless your fangirl heart.
Living the fangirl dream, man.
Woo. Wow. What is there?
So was anybody expecting the things that we got?
No.
We all know to which I am referring, right?
Because he was wearing a shirt in the when they released the behind the scenes pic and he was like in the bed. He was wearing a shirt. I was like, that's a perfect opportunity for him to not be wearing a shirt.
I was sitting there with my laptop and I pressed play and it just started going, oh, Colin doing the flowers and the pretty orchids and Colin chopping the wood.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really nice. And then Colin making some food and eating and reading a book and then, whoa! Damn! My face,
And now everybody who writes fanfic knows the proper array of chest hair.
Yes.
my eyes bulged.
I've
my
watched
heart
many times
stopped.
for research.
My heart stopped, and I just was making like whale noises out. Oh my!
I'm pretty sure I scared my roommate with how much I squealed.
And then we got the shirtless, wet, steamy bathtub.
Goodness gracious.
Bless you, child. Bless you. Mm-mm.
Does anybody remember what happened after that?
Then he brought some more orchids into the truck, and they drove into the city, and he gave the flowers to the lady in the shop, and then
He crossed
did the
my
cute,
bridge.
He
That was
did
a very
the,
important part of the video. He crossed my bridge.
There
and he
you
did
go.
the cute little
I own it.
scratch. He did the cute little scratch behind the ear thing and the eyebrow thing, and he gave her a little orchid.
Oh, and he did the I'm totally not looking at you, but I really am
Yeah.
thing when he walks into the flower shop. That I'm like, dude, you need to stop.
That totally reminded me of the scene where he comes in with the box at the sheriff's station, and he sort of
Yes.
looks at Emma.
Yes.
Totally the same thing.
You know that scene right after he chops the wood, and then he's looking at the train going by,
Yes.
and then he's looking up, and she's
Yes.
standing right in front of him,
Yes.
looking up at him. I was like, can I be you
Yes.
for about 5 seconds
Yes.
right there?
Totally.
Calling without use eyes. Can I be right there?
I have been her right then, but you know.
And I will be in a couple of weeks. God
Hopefully.
willing. Fingers crossed. But,
Okay.
you know, it's that scene right there that a lot of people online thought totally made it creepy, and I don't see how.
What? Ugh, ignore those.
And they're all
Ignore
talking about how they
them.
think
Not
that
talk about anybody who finds a stupid music video creepy. Like, it was a music video. It is what it is.
It was professionally done. She herself spoke about how professional that he was on set, and how he was really good about what they did, and the fact that she was giggling and smiling for 2 straight days, because who wouldn't if they had got the chance to work with Colin Donahue?
Seriously.
But I mean, they're all looking at it from one perspective. They're not even thinking about Colin's point of view in this. And Colin's point of view is the most important thing. If he didn't like it, if he didn't agree with it, he's a grown-ass man. He would have said something. He didn't say anything. He was obviously okay with it.
I mean, he was like counting down the days till it came out and was like, everybody go watch it. I mean, seriously.
You know that couple that does that Captain Swan video log thing? The one girl, she's like Asian, and her boyfriend
No.
with the beard.
No.
Every week she does.
I think I've seen that.
Every week she
Yeah.
does a little Captain Swan thing, and she did one of those about the words. And even as much as a Captain Swan fan and Colin fan that she is, she even said, "Oh, that's so creepy," and she seems like a stalker. And I'm like, and she thought that the video was Christina stalking him, and I'm like,
Like, you
No.
clearly did not understand the concept of the video.
like the whole concept.
Have you never seen the movie Ghost? What is wrong with you people?
The
Go watch
concept
Patrick
totally-
Swayze.
The concept totally flew over like a million people's heads. She said herself that it was about Colin's character being in love with this woman and her haunting him because he was too afraid to tell her how he felt until the end. That's the whole thing. And if that's not the most insanely romantic thing you've ever seen, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But, well, whatever. It was awesome.
And it spawned a million AUs.
Yes.
So many flower shop AUs came
Yeah.
after in that following week. So
I
many.
didn't even try.
Trisha's is
No, me
amazing.
neither.
Trisha's is incredible.
I haven't read it yet. I want to wait till she finishes.
Okay,
You
so
don't, Michelle, you don't have to try anything because Heart by Heart, bitch, that's a masterpiece. I'm telling you.
do you guys have any last comments before we end?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
The sooner this author storyline is over, the better.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's just all look for the good things in 4B and ignore all the stupid Regina author crap that's going to be going on, and
Yes.
pray that the Queens of Darkness are sassy the whole way through.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it will happen. We will have a complaint-free podcast. That's gonna happen.
I think the closest time
Miracles.
we had a complaint-free podcast was probably like Whiteout, because that episode was almost pretty much perfect.
I'm also hoping that Belle doesn't fall prey to Rumple's, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it bullshit and take him back when she really doesn't need to be taking him back.
Well,
She
we all
needs-
know she will.
She
Yeah.
needs to walk away from this for a long time until he
Like
fixes
forever,
his shit.
or
Well, until he gets his shit straight,
uh,
you know?
Which will be never, so yeah, forever.
you know, the one thing I appreciated from the first half of the season is that he was like the big bad, like hiding
Yes.
like right there in plain sight.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, I
that's
like that too.
I'm
But
so glad that Adam and Eddie have quit beating around the bush about Rumplehead and have just straight up said, yeah, he's evil.
The only part of it that was annoying was how dumb it was making Belle look. That he was doing all this and she just couldn't seem to catch on that he was doing this shit.
My problem with it is that, yeah, I enjoy having Rumple be straight up evil, but I just don't believe that they won't fall prey to the temptation to redeem him at the last minute. And it's like,
No.
I don't want that. If I could
No.
believe that they were making him evil, I could enjoy it because he is a great villain. But yeah, I still have that voice in my head telling me that it's just gonna go to shit the first time.
It's all a
He
mirage.
cries and
No.
At
The only
least
way-
she didn't fall for it when he like fell on his knees begging, crying right there in the mid-season
Oh,
finale
thank
of the
God.
town line. Like she forced him over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could have begged her to come with him if he really wanted to. But no, he was worried about losing his power, not her.
Yep. And Belle
Mhm.
finally recognized that. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, he'll probably be redeemed, but the only way I would accept it if he lost his power and just gave up trying to be all-powerful, except that he has a good woman who wants to be with him, and that should be enough.
well, isn't that exactly what Killian told him? She
Yep.
loves you.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could have her forever if you wanted to.
Or you could have all the power in the world.
Yep.
Again, though, as Robert is very fond of saying, Rumple has lived with magic for 300 years. It's a crutch, and he's an addict. He can't be away from it. He needs it so badly and so deeply that the very idea, his fear going over that town line wasn't about being without Belle. It was being powerless.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm a big fan of the magnificent bastard trope. I love characters like that, but when they go after my favorite characters, oh no, you did not just do that. You do not go after my savior girl, Rumple.
Yes.
You stop that right now.
And you definitely don't go after the pirate. Keep your dirty, nasty hands off our pirate.
But like the pirate is one thing because of the past that they have, and bury the hatchet or whatever. But Emma's a whole other thing. Like in my book, it's like a whole other level of evil and what have you. Like you just don't go there. Period. And he did.
Yeah.
Yes. Just the fact alone that he was willing to let that whole town destroy itself and then assume that Henry and Belle would just come with him and not care that their family members and their friends are dead.
It's even worse than that. He was going to wipe their memories.
Yeah.
He turned them into his own personal puppets. His wife and his grandson into his own personal puppets. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, he was going to be their hero.
See, I'm fine when he messes with people who actually deserve it. Like in season 1 when he was getting one over on Regina and he had that smug look and she was just, you bastard. That was good. But when he goes after people who didn't ask for it, that's when I have issues. Leave them alone, Rumple. They didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, well, I think Rumple is going to be full-on bastard pretty much for like the whole remaining of the season.
Let us hope so. With his sassy backup singers.
I'm wondering if, since we've seen some set pictures of Robin, Marion, and Roland in New York, I'm wondering if the three of them are going to cross paths with Rumple.
Well, there's a scene. There's a picture of Robert and Sean with Sean holding a box in presumably New York.
Yeah. See, this is why I think
New York now. Season 1 it was Boston. Now everyone goes to New York.
I don't know.
It's a magical city.
Question.
What I want to know is I know that Regina gave Robin some money to get to wherever he needed to go, but we're talking about New York here. Are they really going to be able to survive like that? It's not like he can get a job. He doesn't have an identity. What's he going to tell him? My name is Robin Hood?
Well, he would say Robin of Locksley, probably.
Robin of Locksley. Yeah, that's really not going to work. I don't know how...
Well, remember, he's an outlaw, so he knows how to steal stuff. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what Rumple's asking him to do. Rumple asked him to go steal something, and so Robin had to go steal it.
And see, I think that the third person Rumple is actually seeking in New York is not Maleficent, but Robin. So, Cruella, Robin, Maleficent is still back in Storybrooke.
Okay, so if you guys don't have any last comments, I think we can end this podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.